walk in, we would all say, John Sally.
My most embarrassing moment, I was just started playing basketball probably. It was like 10 years old. And it was our, maybe our 5th game in a little local league. And it was our first close game. So we were playing in a close game, and the coach calls timeout. He said, okay, we're up. He said, we're going to take our time. We're going to run the clock out. We're going to sit on the ball and not let them have an opportunity to win. So, I'm 10 years old. I'd never heard certain phrases before. So I was like, okay, we're going to take it, time, get it into Kenny, and I'm going to sit on the ball, and we're going to run the clock out. He's like,
No.
So when they threw the ball in, I grabbed it, and I sat down. So the team doesn't know what's going on, right? So everybody's like laughing in the gym, and then the kids are running at me. I get it up and put it, and the clock runs out. So my coach is just cracking Mr. Wilmar Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin's coming over to me, he said, one thing they'll never say about you, son, you're coachable.
We all pointed at Calvin. Calvin Chaney. Now I think about it, he didn't say nothing. He was just, he planned it, but.
Michael was interested because, we played in college, and so I used to, sometimes before the game, before the night before, we, go eat or go to his hotel room, and he was really mad at Reggie Theus. Because when he got traded, when Reggie got traded, Michael was the draft pick coming in. And Reggie was like, there's no guy who can replace me that's a rookie. So he said, just tell Reggie that I'm going to get 45 tonight. So I went to the locker room. I said, Reggie, Michael said he's going to get 45 tonight.
Theus on the dribble, off to the right, takes it in, and Jordan steals the ball. Here's Michael Jordan on the drive. In on Joe Klein, all the way to the hoop, scoop shot. A spectacular play by Michael Jordan.
So he ended up with 43. And so he comes into the locker room. He said, I didn't get 45, but you got to come to Chicago. Like, now that's supreme confidence.
Best team I ever played on. It was the most unselfish team I ever played. We had one goal. Let's win the championship. Let's win the championship. That was our only goal from day one. I knew after that first year I would never get back to the finals. Because the one thing, and I think all these guys know, we had guys start opening up restaurants. We had guys talking about wanting to get a new contract and bodyguards. Yeah, we had guys complaining about playing time, and I knew then. I says, the fabric of our team had changed. It became, instead of about us, it became about me. Like, I says, wait, we got 3 guys who weren't starters open up restaurants. Hey, because if you don't, guys get caught up in this thing. I had guys sitting on the bench talking, well, I should be making as much money as Kevin Johnson and Dan Marley and Charles. Like, dude, you on the bench. You don't deserve to make as much money as a starter. Then, like I say, we had guys complaining about playing time. So psychologically, I never wanted to admit it. I said,
so would that be like Cedric Ceballos and Frank Johnson? Call him out. Don't say guys. Call him out.
And Dan Marley's.
No, Dan Marley, first of all.
Call him out.
Dan Marley had a restaurant. Dan Marley had a restaurant, which was well-deserved. We had 2 guys on the bench who opened up restaurants.
What guys? Who?
I'm not throwing out the bus.
What guys? Mark West? Mark West? Who?
Joe Klein. What stands out? If you're going to sit down and the grandkids say, tell me what it was like when you played in the NBA, Steve.
Well, it has to involve Dennis Rodman. I mean,
that might scare the grandchildren.
It might, but I'll tell them the PG version of the Rodman stories. But no, we had a game in Philadelphia one night, and we weren't playing that well, and Dennis had kind of drifted apart from the team a little bit. He'd kind of come back and forth, and there was a disconnect. And so the game ends, and Phil Jackson pulls Judd Bushler, myself, and Jason Caffey aside. He goes, listen, Dennis is going to Atlantic City tonight. He's rented a bus. He's going down there. He's going to have a party. I want you guys to go with him.
Wow, take one for the team.
We're just the guys for the job. So we went down there. We were there all night. We literally pulled in back to the hotel in Philly at 7:30 in the morning. And we had a 9:30 practice, but it was only the bench guys. The starters had the day off. So we pull in. Dennis goes, I'm going to sleep, guys. Have fun at practice. Judd and Jason and I go to practice. I mean, we're a disaster. But Phil,
Did you have to report to Phil what went on?
we actually saw him when we pulled in, and the bus had a huge picture of Howard Stern on the side, and so we come in and Phil, we go into it was unbelievable, and we go in and Phil's eating breakfast, and he goes, "What time did you get back?" And we're kind of like, and before we could lie and say 3, 4, he goes, "I saw the Howard Stern bus out there." So we had just pulled in. But the point of the story, Kenny,
Right.
I'm
trying to get it.
which I'm getting to, Phil, this was Phil's unorthodox ways. He knew the emotional connection Dennis had with the guys was critical to our success. And we had a couple nights off before our next game, so he said, "You know what? You guys go bond with him, go have fun, go gamble, whatever." And it worked. I mean, it brought us back together. Took us a few days to recover, though.
Call I thought was the best I had ever seen about getting up and down the floor, and Tim Duncan took it to another level.
Well, did you and Carl know each other at all before that?
No.
So what did you learn about him from being a roommate of his?
He snores. I agree with that.
But there's great guards on bad teams.
And when the guard
There's
passed
never
you, Shaq had to leave his big man to go
No,
help.
but there's never great centers. There's never great centers on bad teams.
You were the president of the Little Man
Can
Foundation.
you think of a great center who's on a bad team? Never. Great guards are on bad teams. Thank you very much.
Are you saying Akeem had the night off like he wouldn't, his
The
numbers
night
would
off,
be down?
he's like, it'll be 25 easy. It'd be easy 25 tonight, and I could just sit down and go. He said I'd have to play against Shaquille, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, and then he'd go, I got to think about it after that.
You know what? I wonder when I hear you tell
Rick
this
Smith.
story? Here's what
I'm saying, I didn't think he put him in that list.
Here's what I wonder. I would say
Jay Will is one of the closest players I've ever been with because in Sacramento I did not want to be there. And so my very first practice, my mom is giving me scriptures. "Oh, this is going to be a blessing." I'm like, "Mom, please, I don't have enough time for that positive stuff." She's like, "Oh, it's just going to be a blessing." And I remember after the first practice, I was like, called, and I was like, "You're right." Because Jay Will was just funny and appropriate. And so, you know how you make your rookies do everything?
Right.
It wasn't even fun. I'm like, "Jay Will, we landed in New York." I'm like, "Man, you got to get off the bus. It's snowing. Only in your tights. Go in and scream, 'Who let the dogs out?' and pay for it." He would do whatever. And so one trip, we coming in Boston. It's a snowstorm. We would make him do all the things, and he was like, "If I do one thing, can I be off?" We were like, "Yeah, whatever." So we get in Boston. I'm just listening to headphones. It's cold. It's freezing. And we're like, "Yeah, what's going on?" We get to the hotel. Everybody's checking in. Everybody's like, "Where's Jason?" And we really can't find him. It's about maybe 3-4 minutes. And one of the ball boys goes, and we looked under the bus, picked up the thing under the bus. He's laying on the luggage up on the bus.
Yes.
And I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I ain't want to ride with y'all bitches up here." And he was just sitting, and he's just laying, posing, and he's ridden from the airport. Do you understand?
Yes.
He's our starting point guard, man.
Yes.
What if he would have fell out on the freeway?
Pressure on Glenn Rice and
So you've never won one, have you?
Never won.
I got to tell you this.
Bridesmaid.
I got to tell you this funny story. So I'm playing with Leon Wood, the official now, who's a great three-point shooter. And this Larry Bird had won like 1 or 2 in a row, somewhere in there. So I'm in here rubbing him down to get him all ready. And we're excited. I said,
Oh, you doing what?
Hey, that is a good story.
Hold on.
Say it again. Say it again.
You got him ready. We're feeling pretty good about our chances, too. So everybody's sitting there. Larry Bird come in, and he says, "Well, which one of you guys gonna come in second place?" And you could have heard a pin drop in there. It was so, he mentally intimidated. He won. But when he walked in there, I mean, these were some of the best shooters. I think Ray Allen was in there. Glenn Rice might have been there. All these guys are in there. And we're like, it's a collage of years because those guys.
Yeah, Ray Allen.
I don't think Ray was in. Ray was not at all.
So that was you.
Okay.
John Havlicek.
Greg Hodges. Okay, Hodges. Ray's 25 years old.
AJ was on fire.
AJ shot with Larry Bird.
Never forget
Rose. Rose was there.
Dirk was great that year.
Bud Webb.
Clyde Frazier was in there. Earl of Pearl was in there.
Hey, Chuck.
sometimes I hate working here. Sometimes I hate working here. It's one of those times I hate working here.
Charles.